Hi, and welcome to this section on NGRX debugging. In this part, we'll cover how to install and set up debugging in our NGRX application. So how do we actually install debugging? Well, it consists of two different parts. One is to do an installation of an NPM library, either using NPM or Yarn to install it, and it's called @ngrx/store-devtools. That's the one component we need. The other component we need is a plugin for our browser that can be found on this address. Let's head over to that address and see what further instruction awaits us. So we have taken ourselves to this GitHub link where the more information can be found on the extension that we need. Let's scroll this a bit and let's have a look. Alright, that looks like a very nice UI that we're going to be exploring in further parts in this section. As for installation, we have three options. We have for Chrome and for Firefox as the second option, and as the third option we got installation for Electron. We even have a fourth option here with for other browsers how to install this. So as you can see, you can just pick your favorite browser and install that plugin by clicking one of these links. So let's dive into some code next, where we have installed the plugin, and yeah, let's install the npm library as well in the terminal. So we're inside of VS Code. We have opened up our root module, app module TS, and we're going to do some setup. The two preconditions that we need, or the preconditions that we need for the DevTools module to work, is that we have configured a store. And how we do this is known since before. We call store module for root, give it an object with a state property counter in this case, and a corresponding reducer that we define over here. Now, so once we've set up the store, we're ready to set up the DevTools module. As you can see here, we are importing this from the ngrx/store devtools from the path that we just installed using npm or yarn. And thereafter, we go back to this module, we call instrument, and we provide it with an object. Now, we have also given this object a property max age, which means how many different state changes will we save. So in this case, we're saying we're going to save the 5 latest ones. Now that we know how to set it up using the instrument method, let's have a check in the browser how this works in practice. Okay, so we're inside of our browser. We have fired up our application. And here on the left, we got the application showing. It says counter value 0, so it's displaying a value from the store. Here on the right side of things, we have the Redux plugin that I asked you to install previously. So what it's displaying to us is everything that's being dispatched. That's over here. So as you can see here, there is one thing that has been dispatched already, which is the NGRX store init. So this one is always fired upon load of the NGRX store. Let's see what happens if we try to click the button that will dispatch some actions. As you can see here on the right, we see X number of state changes that happen. We can also see that our max age value works by us clicking a few more times. And as you can see, there are at any point in time only 5 different events, including the init event. So the init event followed by 4 different increments. Yeah, so this is the basics, all right? So now we've set up the DevTools module, and you can see also the result of installing the plugin. We are able to see everything that goes on in our store. We have come to the summary of this part. We have said as much that we need the 2 npm libraries, ngrx store and ngrx store devtools, which is the new library. We also need to install a Redux plugin to our browser to be able to visualize all the state changes and all the other features that comes with this. Store DevTools module is the module that we need to configure to set up our debug plugin. We call the method instrument on it, and the method instrument expects an object to be provided. One of the properties on that object can be max age. So max age determines how many state changes it will save. So if you give it the value 5, for example, it will save the 5 latest state changes.